All right, we are live, peeps. I'm just going to go live on Instagram as well. Nobody here just yet. I'm going to be doing an update on what's going on with the math course and everything like that. I'm also going to turn on a light so there's a little bit more light in this scene right here. Never gone live on Instagram, but if you don't already have me on Instagram, make sure you go check out Molotov_plumbing on Instagram. Let's go. Let's see. How do you do this, man? Going live. All right. We got somebody here. Beulah, what's happening? What's going on? Hold on. Let's turn this around. There we go. Give me 1 sec. Yep. Beulah, what's happening? How's it going? Beulah, you live in Detroit, right? Is that right about that? What's going on? Donnie, what's happening? Freezing in the city of Detroit. Yeah, Beulah, we have a cold over here. What's going on? Peeps on Instagram as well. I didn't know where to do this. Oh, Beulah's saying hi to Donnie, but Donnie's on Instagram. And we're on YouTube right here, right now. Give me 1 sec. Let me pop on that light in the back. 1 sec. It doesn't add a lot, but it helps, man. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? So Victor's here too. Okay, so peeps, I wanted to get you on here so I could talk to you quickly about the math course. Then you guys can just fill me up with all sorts of questions, okay? Yo, typical Irving, what's happening? So, quick little update. I am done shooting all the videos officially. It's been exhausting. I spent all week doing that. I am just in an editing phase right now. As of right now, I'm not going to be able to upload the course up until next week. I know I promised it tomorrow, but I can't do it tomorrow because there's just so much to get edited. My wife is helping me out compile a bunch of questions so you all have practice questions in the end. Victor saying hi to Beulah. Oh, Hovzep's here too. What's going on, man? Donnie, make a video about gloves for plumbing. That's a good idea, dude. That's a good idea. So again, I just want to run through what the course is going to be about. We're going to have order of operations, BEDMAS or PEMDAS according to Canada or America, fractions, conversions, percentages, offsets, geometry, heads and pressures. I'm going through it all. I'm basically trying to give you guys a tool to go into school with if you're doing your apprenticeship or if you're ever going to be back in school and you have to do plumbing math. I'm trying to get that all done for you. That's basically the game plan. Again, I'm editing right now. I just did a section on decimals, and the other section I did was orders of operations, so we're just getting that all done. And I wanted to update you as of next week. The date, which is not this Monday, not after tomorrow, but the next Monday after that, we should be good to go. When will the course be available? And is there elevation problems? Yes, Victor, there are. Are you talking about heads and pressures? Like you're asking how much pressure it'll take to raise water up to a certain floors? And elevation, yeah. So Victor, clarify that for me. You mean elevation as in stack elevation questions, or are you asking about? We're learning about pipe elevation in class and how to find hanger measurements. Okay, no, it's not going to be hanger measurements. That's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be teaching you. Michael, what's going on? I'm not good with math. Will this course teach me how to do some of the math questions? Heck yeah, Michael. It'll teach you everything I just listed off. Fractions is a big one. So, Victor, the one thing I am teaching you is heads and pressures. So, I'm going to teach you how to know how much PSI you'll need inside a pipe to raise water up to a certain floor. There are formulas for that. I'm also going to teach you total force, and I'm also going to teach you what is total force, height, and also unit pressure. Unit pressure is like the amount of pressure you're going to need to raise water up to a certain floor. In regards to the hanger stuff, that is more hands-on stuff. I will be talking about offsets, though. I go extensively into offsets for 45-degree offsets, rolling offsets, and I also do a double parallel offset. I teach that all to you. Typically, that's what we learn in plumbing school. So I'm going thoroughly through that to make sure that you all know that. What's going on? Offsets, they screw me up. Yeah, Donnie, offsets are a little bit rough. How much will the course be? And is it a video chat program? So it's not going to be a video chat program, but you will have an opportunity to send me questions and to ask me for clarifications on things. The course is probably going to be anywhere between $50 to $75. But again, this course is quite long. The two sections that I edited just today, one was 14 minutes. The other one was 6 minutes. So these sorts of things range quite a bit. Donnie, appreciate that. So Gifted OG, what's going on, bro? Man, so basically it's going to be in that area, but you guys are going to have an open forum with me. You'll be able to send me messages in case you don't understand certain things. Yeah, so $50 to $75, but it goes through everything I went through my entire apprenticeship with. So I basically explained to you everything I learned in basic, intermediate, and advanced plumbing in school. Are you streaming on another platform? Yes, I am. I'm streaming on Instagram. If you guys don't have me on Instagram already, Molotov_plumbing. That's where you're going to be able to find me. Reliant Plumbing. What's going on, Reliant Plumbing? So yeah, the math course will be live not this Monday. I'm hoping for the following Monday. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but the following Monday we should be good to go, and you should get that. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, you can ask me any questions that you guys have on this course. We'll get that out of the way, and then you can ask me anything after that. I'm buying 100%. I need this program. A second-year apprentice, and I'm not good with math. I can't even do fractions. Michael, I go through fractions extensively. That was the whole point of this course. I remember when I was in my apprenticeship, me and a bunch of buddies in school would stay after class and we just practice all of fractions, because fractions comes up in everything. If you're doing 45-degree offsets, or you're doing basic fractions, or you're doing even conversions and percentages, fractions shows up everywhere. I'm looking forward to the math. I really need it. The math aspect of plumbing is hard for me. Yeah, typical Irving. I hear you, man. It was difficult for me too. We had a bunch of buddies in school that had a problem with it as well. That's why I opted to do this. I think it would be useful. Yo, I hope to... Victor, what's going on? You're here too. Cool. Victor was just on YouTube. Appreciate that. So again, that's what's going to be going on in the math course. Questions about the math course? Any other things that you want me to clarify? Anything like that? Now's your time. So, again, what I have to do is start the editing phase in conjunction with just doing coursework and teaching you the lessons. I then sit down with you and I have a whole section of me doing a bunch of questions with you all. What if I can't understand some of the questions? Well, I go through it extensively. Michael, you can be in conversation with me via the course. So the course gives you an opportunity to message the teacher. Please clarify the U.S. price. Beulah, I don't know the conversion right now. What is U.S. to Canadian right now? I don't even know. I think it's an American website, to be honest. I'm going to be probably putting it on Udemy. Udemy.com. I don't know if you've ever been on it, but the conversion from U.S. to Canada, let me see, man. I got all this stuff. How do you know what's behind walls without seeing stuff behind it? Typical Irving, the way you know that is when you go into plumbing school, they essentially show you which ways you have to. You're a lifesaver. I appreciate that, Michael. So Irving, typical Irving, you're taught how to install pipes in the correct way. So in school, after you go through especially basic, I think 1.31 Canadian. Yeah, thanks, Donnie. I appreciate that. So after you go through basic, they essentially show you designs of the way pipes are typically designed behind walls. And after you see a lot of drawings of them, you eventually do get the hang of it. And if you're a union plumber, for example, union plumbers here in Ontario typically do all new construction stuff. You're constantly putting things behind walls. So you're constantly building things before they go behind walls. So that's how you know what's going on behind the wall. Now, every once in a while, you go to a place where the regulations aren't the same, or somebody starts doing plumbing the way they shouldn't be doing it. So you might be totally wrong as to the way they design that plumbing system. But for the most part, when plumbers are working, we typically know what we're doing behind the wall because of these regulations. So if it's 1.31 Canadian, let's say it's $75. 75 times 1.31. Give me one sec. Beulah is making me do math, yo. One sec. Can't do this with you guys talking to me. All right, and then, man, it's gonna be... God damn, I need more paper. You're killing me. Anybody can do math for me right now? All right, here we go. $75 times 1.31. It's going to be a bit lengthy. 0, 0, 15, 21, 22. Here we go. 0, 0, 15, 7, 8. So, Beulah, you're looking at around, it's saying, you're looking at around 90 to 100 bucks. No LOL. Why are you laughing, Beulah? All right, so that's basically what's going to happen in the math course. More questions about plumbing. More questions about plumbing. I also have a video coming out tomorrow, peeps, and that's another thing I want to bring up with you all, actually, as of right now. I wanted to know if you want to just start talking to me about what sort of things you want to see this month in regards to videos. Are there any topics that you're particularly interested in that you want to see done and covered this month? Basically, I can sit down and shoot those videos for you, get that information out to you. Trey Truck joined. What's going on? So, yeah, let me know if there are any types of videos that you'd be interested in seeing. 90 to 100. Great. Yeah, that's right, Beulah. Victor, you're asking if in Canada they take 50% taxes out of your paycheck. I think it depends on your tax bracket. I think once you get to a certain tax bracket, they end up taking a bunch of money out of your paycheck. So if you are in the quote-unquote top 1%, yeah, I think they do take quite a bit of taxes off of you in that situation right there. Plumbing gloves and toxic stuff and glues. Thank you, dude. That's Donnie talking to me right now. Plumbing gloves and toxic stuff in glues. All right. Any other questions? Any other suggestions as well? I'm open to suggestions of other videos you might be interested. How to install plumbing fixtures. Okay. I have had an opportunity to work with Sikorsky. It's a helicopter manufacturing company, and there's plumbing aspects in the helicopter. Have any ideas on that? Dude, I've never dealt with a helicopter. I have no idea if there are plumbing things in helicopters. That would be such a cool experience, so check that out. Let me know how it goes. Hey, bro, hope you're having a... David, appreciate you, man. Plumbing gloves, pre-apprentice info, soldering tips. Yeah, Donnie, I got to do soldering tips for sure. What kind of pre-apprentice info do you want? I have a video on pre-apprenticeship. Oh, that's Trey Truck. Pre-apprenticeship. Yeah. I want to enter to the business. Can you help me to make a good resume? Okay. Fahim. Resume. That's a great idea. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Resume building. Trey Truck was talking about pre-apprenticeship info. Trey Truck, check my channel out. I do have pre-apprenticeship videos. That way you can get my take on them and you can see what they're all about. I do have something out there. Check that out and then get back to me. What other info will you want on that? I'll do another video. No problem. Akil Bandari 87, appreciate you. What's going on? All right, thanks, Trey Truck. Kenny Molotov, how to use tools of the business not used every day, like sewer cam, cast iron snap cutters, and others. All right. How to solder in the wall properly by Michael Porter. Okay, okay. Soldering is a big one. All right. There's another one here. Give me one sec. Sewer cam, cast iron snap cutters. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. What's going on? Sent to be in your live video. Akil, I can't do that, brother. Sorry, man. Just going to be me on the live video right now. More things you want to see in videos, and I'm also open for questions now. So you guys can just go ahead and shoot me as many questions as you want. About plumbing, should I prioritize making the plumbing look pretty or doing it fast? Typical Irving, I did a video on this called Speed or Aesthetic. What I typically say is speed comes through organization. The better you are at organizing, Donnie, you want a whole video on toilets? One sec. I actually have something like that I'm working on, so that's a good idea. So who asked that question? Let me look back. Should I prioritize making plumbing look pretty or doing it fast? Typical Irving, at first, you're trying to make sure that you have everything done correctly. What is a 501 union apprenticeship? Ezekiel, are you asking for a video on that, or are you just asking that in general? Offsets are a biggie for me. Yeah, offsets are in, they're in the math course. What was I answering, dude? Oh, so typical Irving, again, in regards to speed or aesthetic, for me and a lot of plumbers out there, I did a poll on the channel, and a lot of plumbers really do appreciate the aesthetic to it as well. The better you get at installing these sorts of things, you'll notice. Killer Rob, no, if you're bad at math, I don't think you should give up on the trades. I think you could get better at math. You just got to keep practicing. So, man, hold on one sec. All right, so typical Irving, find that video, man. It's going to explain my position on it. That way you understand where I'm at. But at first, just learn how to install things the correct way. Once you do, the speed will come. What would be cool if you make a video on 501 union apprenticeship video? Okay. All right, Ezekiel. I'll write that down. Different types of vents and what are they used for? Michael Porter. Good idea. Vents and use. So do you guys want a bunch of plumbing theory videos? Is that something you'd be interested in? Van tour, yeah, I hear you, Donnie. I'm going to have to do that for sure. Are you guys interested in just, yes, by Killer Rob. So just plumbing theory. You guys want to learn vents. You want to learn sizes. You want to learn vent terminals. Yes, theory course would be great. A theory course would be good, yeah, for sure. But do you also want... Sue's here? Cool, Beulah. Hi, Sue. Plumbing theory by Typical Irving. Okay. Look, I can commit to doing a plumbing theory video every week if that's something you're interested in. I don't mind. I enjoy going over theory. Vents, Please by Donnie. Water heater installation by Akil Bandari. All right. Water heater. And vents. Yes to theory by Beulah as well. Cool. Cool, cool. Let's do that. I'll do that for sure. Oh, Vent Plumbing's here. What's going on, guys? Oh, the Vents have been so good to me over the years, man. Say hi to all the Vents. Say hi to everybody. I hope Ryan's foot's doing well. The last time we talked, Ryan got injured on his foot. Gotta go, Kenny. See you later, Donnie. Appreciate you showing up, man. Yes, interview with Dad. Okay, okay. I'll do an interview with Dad one day for sure. Appreciate that. So theory. We'll do plumbing vents. We'll do... I love plumbing, some delicious plumbing, so just put out some good old videos of your choosing. Okay, David, I appreciate that. Interview with my dad, I'll write that down, Vens. Okay, it's a good idea. Any other plumbing video ideas or questions that you might have that I might be able to shed some light for you all? A lot of people here are just starting their apprenticeship or are into their apprenticeship and they're early on. So here's an opportunity just to ask me what's going on. Again, the math course will not be uploaded this week. It will finally go live. Yes, better. Hope you're well. Hope how not to drop a toilet on your foot. Yeah, I know, man. Ryan, that's some bad luck, man. That is so bad. Joe, what's going on? How to read blueprints. That's a good idea. How to read blueprints and different types of drawing. Okay. Difference between sweat and press. Pros and cons. Okay, hold on. Blueprint reading. Let's do that. Pro press and sweat. That's a great idea. Blueprints by Joe. Joe, you want blueprint conversations? We could definitely do that. That's no problem. I don't have ProPress. Does anybody out here work with ProPress? Vens, if you're still here, do you guys work with ProPress? You ever thought about coming to the States for a ride along, then maybe have some come up and visit Canada, see the differences? That would be cool, Dave. Maybe that's in my future. I'm not sure. Video about the best plumbing schools in Canada. Greetings from Mexico. Oh, Edwin, Mexico. What's going on, man? Thank you. I could do a conversation about schools in Canada for sure. You work with press, Michael? You like it? Is it worth it? I know it's expensive. It looks so beautiful. Only once in a while. We have to rent a tool. Yeah, the Vens don't work with press either until they rent it out. How to deal with bullies on the job site. Joe, I got a video on bullying in the trades. Check that out. Sue, what's going on? Hey, what about the question I asked earlier? What was your response? Oh, Sue, hold on. Let me go back. I got to find it now. Sue, is it kosher to call a potential employer and ask for a ride-along to see if I like it and see what they do all day? Sue, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I've never heard of that myself. Keep in mind that I started doing my apprenticeship with my father, so it was a little bit easier for me in that regard. I think it would be person to person, so meaning it might depend on the individual. So maybe all day long we work with ProPress here in the U.S. Okay, Beulah. So Sue, maybe you should just try it and see what they say. Maybe they'll be cool with it and they'll bring you along. If they're not, they're not. You know, I think it would depend on the individual, but it's not a terrible idea. Would you recommend working in a supply shop? I think if that... Oh, Sue, the Vens say that they would allow it for sure. We would love to have someone ride along. So there you go. The Vens own a company called Ven Plumbing, and they also would allow it. So that sounds cool. Maybe they'll be cool with it. I wish they would. Plumbing_Toronto, what's going on? You wish they would, you're talking about allowing a ride-along program? I know, it's not a terrible idea, right? That way you, as a potential worker, can see what the heck's going on. Would this course help me how to add fractions? Yeah, absolutely. Michael, we go extensively through fractions. Fractions, I am sick of fractions. That's how many fractions I've gone through. We go extensively through fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, doing that with mixed fractions, doing that with improper fractions, converting from improper fractions to proper fractions, vice versa, and even dealing with decimals, how to convert those to decimals, and then how do you take a decimal and create a fraction out of it that you can read on your tape measure so that you can tell your foreman or whoever's asking to what 16th that is. No problem, Sue. Thank you for the question. Ask me anything else that you might have. Ride-along program sounds like a great idea, to be honest. I don't know why some people would have a problem with it. A great idea for newbies with potential. Yeah, I agree. Plumbing_Toronto. I agree, man. It makes a lot of sense to me. Any more questions about the math course that I'm building and will be live not this Monday but the following Monday? And you know, like I was saying before, I'm sort of trying to plug this so you know what's going on with it. How to properly solder valves without burning the O-rings inside. Michael, that's a good one as well. Solder valves. Yeah, I could definitely take a look at that. So we have a few people that work with ProPress here. ProPress is gorgeous stuff. Right, Doug, what's going on, Ryan? Do a collab with another plumber. I shall try. I gotta go, but I'm definitely buying this math course, and thank you for your response, Kenny. I appreciate you, typical Irving, and I'll let you know once it goes live, okay? Thanks for everything. Have a good night. Do a collab with another plumber. I wouldn't mind doing a collab. Let me tell you right now, that would be a lot of fun. So again, just to go through what's going on in this math course. What's going on, Ryan? Only time we don't solder here in the US is if we're installing copper pipe into tight spaces. Yeah, ProPress would be good for that. ProPress is good for pipe sizes for 3-inch and above. Michael, honestly, ProPress looks awesome, and I know a buddy of mine on Instagram named Hovsep just ended up buying a bunch of rigid ProPress tools. I've always loved the line work and the beautiful look that ProPress has. Don't waste your time buying a ProPress for a 1/2 inch or 3/4. Michael's against it. Okay. But ProPress is also expensive. The fittings are just naturally more expensive because of the system itself. And I don't know how much of it, what's the balance and whether it's worth it or not for Dad and I, but it's something we looked into. And you're looking at like $2 to $3 grand for just the gun itself in order to do the ProPress. So I don't know. We haven't. Night, you're out of here, Beulah. Appreciate it. Have a good night. So I'm not sure if it's quite something I'm going to get into, but man, I love the work. So again, more questions. Ezekiel, I'm considering joining the 501 union here in Las Vegas. The casino engineer makes a lot of money. Oh, that's in Vegas, eh? Let me write that down. Yeah, I wrote that down, 501 union. To be honest, Ezekiel, I'm here in Canada, so the 501 union, I'm not sure what that term actually means. I'd have to look it up to see. And if it's not something here in Canada, I don't really know if I can speak on it. Do measurements and tricks to find pipe lengths in different circumstances. Yeah, Joe, you want a video like that, or is that in the math course you're asking, Joe? Joe Gordon, sorry. So yeah, the 501 would be an interesting conversation to have, the 501 union. Are there any 501 union workers here right now? A lot of the time, companies get mad because of the increased bill. Property managers will look for the cheaper people like handyman, learn from experience. Yeah, that's right. That's the one concern, Michael, that talk about tool bags. Yeah, that's a good idea. Tool bags is a good idea. Yeah, that's always the question that people have when it comes to plumbing. It's you're constantly trying to have a competitive price and also at the same time have work that works fast. I mean, the one great thing about ProPress, kind of like PEX, it seems, is that the work can actually take place much faster than if you had to solder every joint, which just takes naturally a bit more time. So yeah, and the fittings are a bit more expensive, so you're trying to wager whether the more expensive fitting that they are is worth it because of the speed that you're making up on. How to price, Joe? Yeah, Joe, you got some gold here. Callum Austin, what's going on? Appreciate you showing up. How to price. So again, guys, I'm here to remind you that I have a math course. It's a plumbing math course which goes extensively through fractions. Anything worth 3-inch over the ProPress? Okay. So I go extensively through fractions. I end up doing a bunch of conversions, percentages, offsets, which is plumbing specific, right? Geometry we get into just a bit, and then we do heads and pressures. So I'm building this course. It's in its final stage. I know I've been saying that for a while. How to deal with clients looking over your shoulder when you're working. Joe, lots of good questions. Lots of good questions. Customers over shoulders. Let me write that down. So again, if you have a difficulty with math, and especially if you're going through your apprenticeship and you have to go into plumbing school, which will eventually have math, that's what the course is here for. It is for pay, so I am going to charge for it, but it's going to take you through all the math I went through my entire apprenticeship, basic, intermediate, and advanced math. So it'll make it useful for you because as you're going into basic, you already are learning intermediate and advanced math at the same time. So it's just something to keep in mind. Any more questions about that? Just let me know. Shoot that right here. Let me see what that is. And you could also ask me any other questions that you're interested in. Saeed, what's going on? Wave right back at you. So any questions? How much should a second-year apprentice earn traveling an hour to get to the job? So Michael Porter, the way the apprenticeship works here is when you start your first year of apprenticeship, you're making 50% of a licensed journey person. Your second year, you should be making 60%. Your third year, you're earning 70%. Your fourth year is 80%. Your fifth year is 90%. You get licensed and then you get the full wage. That's typically how it works here. So if you are in your second year, you should be making 70%, 50, 60% of what you're licensed, but an hourly wage. Yeah, it would depend on where you're at. So Michael, are you in the States? You're from Vaughan. Oh, you're from Vaughan, Ontario. You're from Woodbridge. Okay, so you would probably be making. So I think starting. Are you service or are you union, Michael? When is this course, Joe? The course is coming not this Sunday, not this Monday, but the following Monday after that. That's when I'm gonna have it. Yeah, next to you, I know your company. Yeah, you know my company. Awesome. Service and mechanical. Okay, so Michael, if Michael, if you're a service company, then you probably start off between 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour. If that's the case, what's a licensed journey person at that company making? So Ezekiel, you're looking between 50 to $75 for the course, but again, it's extensive and you get a ton of math questions at the end. Owens, you're jumping over from Instagram to YouTube. What are you doing to me, bro? Around $55 an hour, so you need to find what 20%, or sorry, 60% of that is. So what I need you to do, I need somebody to do this math for me because my calculators are being used right now. So you're making, so how much are you making? Okay, you want to make 60% of that. So somebody's got to do 55 times 60. Owens, do me a favor. Get your calculator out and do this for me, okay? I expect an answer. 55 times 60 and divide by 100. What's the answer? Please, Ryan, save me right now. Save me. Michael needs our answer desperately. 55 times 60 divided by 100, 33. So, Michael, you should be making approximately $33 an hour. Approximately, okay? So, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Michael was on top of it, though. So, again, it really depends on where they start you. Sometimes they start you at a lower price. Sometimes some plumbing companies start you at like 15 bucks and their licensed journey person's making like 40 bucks. It really depends on the company. So find out what the other second year apprentices are making. If they're making more than you have a good argument to say, look, I should probably be making the same thing. If they are making less than you, then you probably don't want to talk about it at all, if you know what I'm saying, Michael. You just keep that to yourself. All right, buddy? So I hope that answers your question. $33 in my second year would have been really high. So that's just something to keep in mind. More questions. Ryan, are you in Disneyland right now, or are you still in Canada? What's going on? Johnny Marin, what's going on? How you doing? Holes Jared, what's happening? Appreciate you all showing up on my live stream. Leaving Monday morning. Ryan, have a good time, man. I expect you to have a beautiful town on the way back. Take some pictures. You know we always want to see the rides. Be careful. Be safe. Enjoy that beautiful weather. It's miserable here in Canada right now, in Ontario, Canada. Could be worse, though. No complaints there. Could be worse. You know how it is. In your opinion, what's the difference between mechanical and service plumbing? The difference between mechanical and service plumbing. So, Michael, all right, Ryan, enjoy. Michael, whenever I hear mechanical on a company, that usually means that they do plumbing and heating. It's not always the case, but that's how I typically have heard it. So that's what I think the difference is between mechanical and service. You can have mechanical companies that do just service. So I'm not sure what you mean on that question. Maybe pose it a different way. I'll be able to answer it more accurately for you. So again, I'm doing a plumbing course. I know I'm plugging this thing, but I just want to remind everybody that's the whole point of this live stream. I just wanted to update you that the course will be done not this Monday, but the following Monday. Today is February 29th. Tomorrow's March 1st. So 7, it's going to be around March. Michael, like plumbing wise, what's mechanical work to you? What's mechanical work? A lot of what is mechanical work? Mechanical work is working with a lot of heating, MJs, that sort of stuff. Joe, yeah, Joe, I agree. Mechanical is, it's a loose term, Joe is saying, and a lot of people tend to use mechanical when they're just meaning plumbing and heating. Sometimes they say plumbing as mechanical, so it kind of really comes down to the definition of the person that's saying it. Any other questions? What's the platform this course will be on? Michael, the platform is going to be on udemy.com. I already got a course there, but it's on Magic because I'm a magician. Do you have to download it? No, that course will host it, so you can just watch it right there on the course itself, on the website itself, basically. The website will host it, and you can watch it right there on the website. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do a lot of companies take you on as a laborer but don't sign you up as an apprentice? So who is Jared? The reason why that happens is because when you have regulations, sometimes that regulation limits you to the amount of apprentices you're allowed to hire. So here in Canada, here in Ontario, I should say, you're allowed to hire one apprentice per licensed journey person you have. If you only have one licensed journey person, you can only hire one apprentice. You can't hire 2, you can't hire 3. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And another example is if you already have a journey person there and there's already one licensed plumber, and there's already one registered apprentice, then they can't hire any more apprentices, but they can take you on as a laborer that's also getting their hours at the same time. Dom D98, what's going on, Dom D? Any more questions that we may have? Plumbing related, math related. I can tell you whether or not this course encompasses what you might be worried about. Can I access this course at any time of day whenever you teach? No. This course is pre-recorded and I leave it on that website. So in other words, I upload it to that website and you can access it whenever you want. I'm not going to be teaching it live or anything like that. I already taught the courses and I recorded them and I edited them. I'll be uploading them not this Monday, but the following one. Why do bosses try to send first-year apprentices to rough-in jobs by themselves? That's not fair. Joe, I agree with you completely. I don't think first-year apprentices are prepared to rough-in anything, and I think some bosses don't remember what it was like to be first-year apprentices. What is your take on Heat Link? Heat Link. I don't know what Heat Link is. Let me look this thing up. Can you give me a run through of what Heat Link is? Who is Jared? Let me move this. Oh, hold on. Don't want to ruin this. I can't see anything because my cameras are in the way. They happened to me or I wanted to cry. That happened to me and I wanted to cry. What happened to you, Joe? Oh, they made you rough in the first day? Yeah, as a first year. Never worked for one person company. Whoa. Never worked for a one-person company. I've learned a big lesson. Yeah, Michael, I know some people have some bad experiences with the companies that they first start off with, especially with like new bosses and stuff like that, or just really shady characters. So you got to protect yourself. That's why I did a video a couple weeks back called 4 Plumbing Apprenticeship Scams. Check that video out if you haven't already. That video kind of goes through the experiences a lot of the subscribers on my channel have gone through, and some of the stories that I heard from the people that I was going to my apprenticeship with. They were telling me stories about how some company owners are all of a sudden expecting like 4th-year apprentices out of a first-year apprentice, and they're really coming down on people. And I'm sitting back as like a licensed journey person going, whoa, they were expecting way too much, because in my first year, man, I was so green. I didn't know what a rough-in was, you know? Oh, it's like PEX but thicker. Interesting. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Is it a plumbing pipe or is it a heating pipe? Who is Jared? Sorry. Yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes people have that expectation of having like a fourth year or fifth year or even a licensed person, poly pipe probably. Yeah, who is Jared was talking about it being like a PEX. Both polyethylene. Oh, it's plumbing and heating. Okay. What color is it? Who is Jared? Is it orange? Joe, you're talking to me about polyethylene. If we're talking about polyethylene, it's a type of. Isn't that what PEX is made of? Polyethylene? Heat link. All right. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now, guys. Just chill right there. And of course, that's not it. That's not it. Come here. It's a blue pipe, just like PEX. All right, heat link pipes. Let me write that out. But it's a heat link. Do you actually link it by or putting in heat? Maybe he's thinking of water service pipe. Maybe. Pipe and pipe heat link here. No, it's an interesting. This looks like a different system, to be honest. I'm seeing. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting stuff. Pipe and pipe. Okay, so there's a PEX called Heat Link as well. If you only been with one plumbing company and you quit, and the new company wants a reference from the previous company, and you might lie and talk bad about you, should you do? Mike, what I would do is I'd probably say you left on bad terms with the previous company, and you're going to have to express what those bad terms were. And you can say, look, I don't mind providing the number of the previous company owner. You have to ask the previous company you were working for if they want to be a reference. Keep that in mind, because if they don't want to be a reference for you, they're not going to pick up that phone call. And you're handing out somebody's number to a stranger. So that's another thing. But I'd probably let them know, look, we ended on bad terms. You'd probably have to tell them what those bad terms were. Who is Jared? I think you're talking about PEX, bro. I'm not sure if I'm right about that, but it looks like it's PEX what you're talking about. So, Michael, you probably just want to let them know that it was on bad terms. Let them know what that is, what had happened, and what things that you learned from it. That would be a good way to go with it. What things you learned from it, and also, that you would hope that you didn't have the same issues with this new company. And also find out from your previous boss if they are cool with giving you a reference. Meaning, maybe you guys didn't see eye to eye, but they're still cool and they're gonna, talk good about you. But if you don't think that's the case, and you approach this boss and they say, no, there's no way I'm gonna give you a reference, or my reference is gonna be bad, maybe don't even provide the reference. Just explain to the new company owner what had happened, and that's it. That's how I probably would do it. One-person companies are horrible with anything, with anyone looking to work with someone small. Beware. Yeah, Michael, some people have had some bad experiences. Joe, I had to quit in my first year from being sent to jobs I don't know how to do, but new companies who hired me understood. Joe, I don't know why plumbing company owners are like that. I've heard about this sort of stuff. And Michael, Joe's saying it's okay. These sorts of things happen. Yeah, Joe, I don't know, man. I don't know why there are plumbing company owners that expect the world out of their apprentices. And the worst part, the thing that breaks my heart about these stories is it's always apprentices that are very eager to learn and eager to prove themselves. So you're stuck in a terrible situation where your boss is taking advantage of you, expecting things that they shouldn't be expecting, and all of a sudden you look like the bad guy, but you're not the bad guy. You're a first-year apprentice. They shouldn't be expecting you to be able to rough in your first year. It's not like you've had 5 years under your belt doing this. Rudy, what's going on, Rudy? Thanks for joining. Any other questions, peeps, about anything math related? If you have any more questions about that, it's awful, Michael. I went home and I had to drink every day, which was unhealthy. Joe, we got to find healthier ways to deal with that sort of trauma. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but we don't want to find destructive ways of dealing with it. So I'm glad you got off that drink, man. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's difficult because that's your livelihood. That's your dream. Your dream is to finally join a plumbing company and get your foot in the door and start excelling at it. And then this person in your way, who's also your boss, is expecting the world from you, and you don't know how to provide that because you just don't have the skills yet to provide that. So it is a weird situation. Peeps, if you're interested in stories like this, check out my video called 4 Plumbing Apprentice Scams. I did that only a couple of weeks back. It's right there on the channel. Go to youtube.com/Kenny Molotov and check me there. And if you don't already, follow me on Instagram, Molotov_plumbing. And if you guys don't already on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, Kenny Molotov. I do weekly vlogs. I also do Q&A sessions. And I'm going to start this going live stream thing and doing it more and more often. People like to rip off people that are learning and want to be good, but will do anything to keep them at the bottom. Michael, unfortunately, I do think there is some people out there that do rip others off. It's a sad truth, but with that video I was just talking about, I was hoping to equip with you all with tools on seeing what's going on. That way, if you see these red flags, you can back out right away. Who is Jared? Last question. Why is the union hard to get into? I can't wait. Go live. Okay, cool, Joe. So why is the union hard to get into? Who is Jared? From what I understand, a couple of things happen with unions. They only have certain times of year. I appreciate that, Michael. So there are only certain times of year that unions actually... Jordan! Oh, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. So hold on. Who is Jared? Jordan is saying that HeatLink is just piping for in-floor heating. I've never done HeatLink before. Thank you, Jordan. I didn't know that. I've never done in-floor heating. It's something we haven't put our hands on. That's why I've never worked with it, but we have worked with PEX in the past. Okay, now question. So another thing Who is Jared asked is, why is it hard to get into the union? Jordan is saying it's the Local 46 is easy to get into now. I'm a member. Hold on. Whoa. I'm a member, and they're doing intakes like crazy right now. So Who is Jared? Check out the Local 46. According to Jordan, they're hiring and they're taking a lot of people in. Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong. When you get into the union, you actually have to do a union test. Is that correct? And that's another reason why getting into the union sometimes is difficult. We need lots of first years. Jordan's saying they need it depends. Jordan, did you go through a union test? I got him backdoor, so slip right in. Okay, I got it. But there, plumbers that have gotten in because of doing a union test. A buddy of mine who was on this live stream with us, he had to get in by doing a union test. What is a union test? A union test is a test the union provides you, and they take their best candidates. 99% have to do an intake test. Yes, thank you, Jordan. So Who is Jared? That's why it's sometimes difficult to get into the unions. Those tests are quite difficult from what I understand, and then they take the best test results, so you're competing on the way in, so sometimes it's difficult. Joe, what do you talk about? Religious people in the workplace who try to push it on you. Does he know anyone with the last name Perry in UA46? I don't know. Jordan, you know anybody with the last name named Perry in the UA46? Religious people and them trying to push religion on you. I'm not so sure I've had that experience, Joe. Not on the job site, but that's an interesting topic. And I'm sure that's a funny story that you could probably provide me if I was hanging out with you. Any more questions, peeps? No, I don't. I work ICI service, so I don't see a lot of guys. Okay, so Jordan doesn't know anybody with the last name Perry, Joe. I'm facilitating relationships here. Look at this. So again, Any questions on the math course? Do you want me to clarify anything about what's going to be on it and what you're going to be provided? Again, it uploads not this Monday. I'm going to go live the following Monday. I'll put it on udemy.com. That's where you'll find it. I'll do another live stream like this to let you know that it's done and it's ready. And that way you can go get it if you need help with it. You got fooled then. Oh, Joe, don't get fooled, my man. How long will it take to complete? Mike, I don't know yet because I haven't compiled it fully, but it's extensive. And every section, we're trying to provide around 100 test questions for you all. So you can take as long as you want with it. You could take, a couple of months. You could take a month, depending on how fast you move. More questions. Aquafirm, is that the future of plumbing? Are you going to CMPX show? I am not going to CMPX show. Aquafirm, is that the future of plumbing? I'm not so sure who is Jared. Honestly, let me look up Aquafirm. Aquafirm. This is new. Hold on, let me see. Yes, Aquatherm is installed in corrosive environments. My advice is, all right, we got some advice from Jordan. My advice is go Union. They offer free training for everything. Lots of courses from service courses to G1, all paid for. So that's another plus. I'm a plumber, welder, and gas fitter, all paid for. Nice, Jordan. Blue and green. Let me look Aquafirm up real quick. Is it 2 words? Let me see. No, that's not what we're looking for. Aquafirm posts. I installed in a chicken barn once, really. So it's called Aquafirm Plumbing. Here we go. Aquatherm, yeah, that's why. Aquatherm. Oh, very cool. Aquatherm blue pipe and green pipe. A superior alternative to steel, stainless steel, and inferior plastics. Aquatherm blue plastic is a long-lasting option for heating and cooling compressed air and industrial piping systems. Really cool. That might be the future of plumbing right there. I'm not sure. Good job on the channel. What suppliers do you and your dad go to? Might see you around. Thanks, Jordan. We typically go to Noble and Desco. And sometimes we go to Wolseley, but not a lot, if you know what I'm saying. But Desco and Noble for sure. Thanks for the input, Jordan, by the way. I don't know as much about Union as a lot of other people like yourself, so appreciate all that info. Yeah, Therm. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, it is Aquatherm. I just realized that. I don't know, man. It looks pretty cool, though, from what I'm seeing here. I've never used Aquatherm myself. And they can use it for compressed air as well and industrial piping systems. Who's used Aquatherm on here? Have any of you? Anybody? Okay. So it looks like it's hard to install. You've used AquaRise, not directly, was on site. I see. Oh, so who's Jared did? So what kind of pipe is it? Is it a hard pipe or is it a malleable pipe? Ryan! Jordan, what company do you work for? Oh, Jordan, Ryan's also in the union, my man. So in a union, I should say. So what company or what union? So who's Jared? Was it difficult to install? Ryan, have you installed Aquatherm? They hated it. You have to heat the connection, I do believe. Is that right? David's saying you have to heat the connection for Aquatherm. Is that true? Modern Niagara. Oh, very cool. Jordan, are you in the Niagara area? Is that where you do your plumbing? Is that where you live? You haven't. Okay, Ryan has never used Aquatherm, but Ryan, you have done compressed air, right? Oh, so who's Jared is saying yes, you have to heat this pipe, heat the connection in order to connect things. And the heating tool is heavy, he's saying. Modern Niagara is the biggest mechanical company in Canada. Very cool. So are you in the Niagara area or you're, it's everywhere? It must be everywhere if that's the case. Toronto. Gotcha, Jordan. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. So peeps, I'm on here for another 5 minutes. If you have any more questions or even suggestions on videos you want to see, any questions on the math course, you're quitting? Jordan, why, dude? Is the money bad? Is it the company? Ryan is with Insight Tech. Going on your own. Oh, best of luck. Best of luck. That'd be really exciting, man. Exciting times. Did you buy the truck yet? Is it ready? So again, peeps, 5 more minutes. I'm gonna take off, maybe do a workout, try to calm down before bed. Any more questions on the plumbing course, which I'm trying to get done for you all, or just plumbing related. 2020 Savannah, got the racking done yesterday. Not bad, dude. 2020 Savannah. Let me look this bad boy up. 2020. I haven't seen the 2020. Here we go. Let me see this. Oh, there she is. There she is. Oh, man. All right. All right. Oh, she's big. Good for you, man. Congratulations. I hope it's a smooth transition. Remember, it's always a little bit bumpy at the beginning. I'm sure you have some sort of client base already, but, you know, take some time to get there for sure. Best of luck, Jordan. Best way to cut galvanized pipe. Pipe threaded. All right. All right. That's a good idea. Who's Jared? An interview with my dad. Oh, oh, oh. You still there? Still there, everybody? I'm breaking my computer. Oh, man, I'm breaking everything right now. Here we go. Here we go. Live on tape. Me breaking my computer. Pipe threaded when it's in the wall. Jared, you're asking that as a video, or you're asking that just right now? Cutting a galvanized pipe that you have to unthread that's already in a wall, man, that's going to be rough times, man. That's sweat work right there. That's not going to be easy. All right, peeps. 2 more minutes, all right? Yes. Joe, yes. Right now. Guys, cutting galvanized pipe. I'm not going to replace this galvanized pipe with another one, am I? Because if I am, David is saying grinder time. I have, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've cut galvanized pipe with a Sawzall. I think I've done that before, but it was the heavy duty ones that you plug into the wall because that thing will cut. But if you don't have that handy, man, like a Sawzall, like the one-handed ones, they might be hard. Heat the fitting to expand it from the thread and get that pipe wrench out. That's right, Jordan, I've done that. I've unthreaded one of those bad boys, but he's asking about cutting it. So how do you cut it? Do you guys cut it with a Sawzall or just grind that out? You can get the handheld ones. No, don't leave. Sorry, Joe, I gotta go, bro. Appreciate that. Grinder if it's close quarters. Jordan's saying he'd go grinder with that. Again, I've done Sawzall as well. If it's exposed, then bandsaw. That's another idea. Anything else? Any other questions? We're looking at about 1 minute. No problem. Who's Jared? Good luck, man. Staying in the union. Ryan, you have a wonderful trip, my man. Bring me back a big Mickey Mouse stuffed animal. If you don't love me, bro. You don't love me. Peeps, I'm going to be out in about 1 minute. Last questions. Last call for questions. Remember, close quarters. That's right, David. Probably. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, guys. Again, math course coming out not this Monday, the following Monday. I'm going to spend all week editing it, getting it ready for you all. It's going to encompass order of operations, PEMDAS and BEDMAS. I'll explain the difference for you. Fractions, conversions, decimals, percentages, offsets, 45-degree offsets, parallel, double parallel offsets, rolling offsets, geometry, and then heads and pressures and all that. What program do you use for your elevation drawing? Oh, I'm using a, I think it's an Etsy. I think it's called Etsy. Thanks, David. Appreciate you all. Be careful doing what you do. Any more questions here? Thanks for the help. No problem. Not forever, Michael. Not forever. All right, peeps. Have a good night. It was great talking to you. See you later. Ciao. Bye, Jordan.